exponentially with a hurricane. Now, they go up in 5-mile-per-hour increments, if you will, but I'm talking about the destruction from these winds. And what does 155-mile-an-hour winds do versus 75-mile-an-hour winds with a Category 1? The damage goes up exponentially. We'll talk about that with Dr. Costell in a little bit. But first, let's go out to meteorologist Mike Seidel to the south of me in Fort Myers. And I am 2 miles inland from the coast where he is. He is right on the water and exposed to that wind, less friction. Mike, has that water been coming up in Fort Myers? Because we have that record now set in Naples when we're talking water rise.
Oh, yes, it has, Steph. We've been showing it to you, and it gets higher and higher very slowly. It's not like a big wave coming, like a tsunami. It takes a little time, but eventually, where I'm standing, I would be completely underwater. That's the forecast. A 12 to 18 feet surge. We'll see how that verifies. We're going to be moving higher up, way higher, above 20 feet in the next hour or so. So we'll stay and get out of some of this wind, too. The weather station nearby, 56 miles an hour, gusting to 84. That's the peak sustained and gust we've had so far. We're not quite at the eye wall, though. We're going to get in the eye wall. That's where we're going to get those gusts. And that's why we have an extreme wind warning up for now. This is a situation that's going to knock out a lot of power. I don't know if you can see behind me, but the wind, the force of the wind, is picking up the water off the river and just turning it into a spread. Wow. Just amazing. So these winds are closing in on what I took Fiona imposing Puerto Rico. We gusted here to 110. We were sustained at 77. We're not quite there yet. But this is going to be a long afternoon because the hurricane is only moving 10 miles an hour, Steph. Charlie moved much, much faster. It was a much smaller storm than as you said. We've already set the record in Naples, and more records will fall. We'll see how that surge goes. Stephanie, Fort Myers Beach just across the water here. 9.4 during Charlie, and Captiva, Sanibel was anywhere from, I think, North Captiva was about 9.4 also. That's about where the center of the cross that went into Punta Gorda back on that Friday, August 13th. Yes, Friday, August 13th, 2000. Stephanie?
All right, Mike, thank you for that. We need to get inside now. Let's get right to it. I'm not sure who's handling it in the studio. I'm just going to toss it back in.
Mayor, new tornado warning here that is now fired up here for us, and we always talk about when it comes to these tropical cyclones, whether it's tropical storms, hurricanes, you can get these tornadoes to spin up, and we do have a new warning that is up here for us. But there's that big picture here, what's going on with it. 155-mile-per-hour Category 4 hurricane at this point, getting closer and closer to the west coast of Florida, starting to make its way onshore at this hour. So conditions just going to continue to go downhill. There's the radar showing you where that particular tornado warning is right now, just to the south and west of Sebring there, and that's until about 12:15. We got parts of west central Highlands County, eastern Hardee County, and northeast DeSoto County. This is there in the south central portions of Florida right now. We've got a tornado warning as these storms are rotating around those outer bands. These storms are working their way essentially right now to the north and the west here. This is a particular storm where that warning is in place right now. The actual area where we're watching the rotation would generally be right there just west of Placid Lakes, and you can see that will continue to work its way on off towards the northwest here for us as we head on through the next couple of minutes. So if you're in any of those areas west of Placid Lakes, heading up towards the Wauchula area, just north of Arcadia, crossing over 17, those areas where you want to make sure you're getting into your safe zone, lowest floor of a sturdy structure, and certainly getting away from the windows. It's going to be a situation where there's just going to be a ton of rain. Not going to be able to see this tornado. They tend to be very short-lived. They can spin up very quickly, cause the damage, and then they lift up very quickly as well. But they get obstructed by all of the rain that is in place right now. That's what we're seeing at this hour. Some of the other areas that could be impacted with this particular storm down the road, you can see around the Buchanan area around 12:43, heads up there. We're talking about Wauchula, Baird. Also, again, not in the warning now there in Baird, but if we're to hold together, you could certainly be impacted by this. So this is something that we'll be watching here as we work our way through the day, not just to get dealing with that core of the system where, of course, the most extreme winds are going to be, where you've got that eye wall moving into west central portions of Florida, but It's also on the periphery. That's where you can get these spin-ups, isolated tornadoes, and right now we do have a tornado warning that is in place. One of what will probably be quite a few as we head on through the rest of this afternoon. Plenty more to come when it comes to Hurricane Ian. We got it here on the Weather Channel.
The Lab is presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When the unthinkable happens, good neighbors show up. For 100 years, State Farm has been among the first to arrive, with the latest technology and tools to help you recover faster. State Farm has been there before, and will be there again and again. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't let discomfort slow you down. Try Penetrex. Penetrex is different than other products with no greasiness, irritation, or unpleasant odors. Made with unique ingredients, it's 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Penetrex, the #1 online rated joint and muscle cream.
At Duracell, we're obsessed with bringing a better battery to life. New Duracell with Power Boost ingredients helps this headlamp shine at its brightest for longer. And the longer this headlamp shines, the more interesting your stories become.
So?
The new iPhone 14 Pro. It's amazing.
Yep, the camera is incredible. And you'll get our best deal.
Nice, but everyone should get it.
Everyone can get it.
Every new customer.
And every existing customer.
Every iPhone.
Every iPhone.
Every iPhone.
Every iPhone.
Okay, my work here is done. Everyone gets the best deal on every iPhone.
Best one yet.
Everyone gets AT&T's best deals on every iPhone. Get the new iPhone 14 Pro on us.
Are you coming for my job?
We are the first generation of patients who get to redefine what it means. What should it look like? And what can we be as a community of women? It's still okay to hope.
What did I miss?
She took her first steps.
Can she do it again? I missed it. I stepped away from the bowl for 2 seconds.
There it is. He's back on top.
Whoa, what happened?
Oh, you missed that. Probably shouldn't have left.
Tostitos. Get to the good stuff.
This is a Camp Lejeune legal alert. Attention veterans and families impacted by toxic water at Marine Base Camp Lejeune. Important legal rights are now available for those who lived or served at Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987. If you suffered an injury that may be caused by water contamination, call 1-800-418-3623 or visit youhavealawyer.com for a free case evaluation. For over 30 years, Marines and their family members were exposed to toxic chemicals in Camp Lejeune water. The VA has acknowledged that exposure to these chemicals can cause a number of serious health conditions, including cancer, birth defects, Parkinson's disease, liver damage, and other illnesses. A new law now allows victims of Camp Lejeune water contamination to obtain financial compensation for their injuries, even if benefits were denied in the past. However, there is a limited time to file a claim. Find out if you qualify. Call 1-800-418-3623 or visit youhavealawyer.com. That's 1-800-418-3623.
The Weather Channel is the leader in weather coverage.
Weather shapes the landscape. It's part of your adventure. Please pay attention to the forecast.
Weather Channel.
America's most trusted TV news network.
are starting to pick up here in Englewood, Florida, getting worse and worse, and they are going to get a lot more destructive before it comes down here. Let's talk about Cat 4, Cat 5 landfalls in Florida. There have been 13 if you look back in time. All of them but Michael, which was in 2018 up in the Panhandle, have happened in South Florida. All of them. So 12 of them. And by the way, it's pretty rare to have a Cat 4, Cat 5. It's not something we see all the time. With climate change, that could change. We could see more and more of these really intense hurricanes. And speaking of intensity, I want to talk to Dr. Postel about the winds. When you're talking about a Cat 1, which is 75-mile-an-hour winds, that's your basic Cat 1 hurricane. Right now, Dr. Postel, this is at 155 miles an hour, borderline Cat 5. The destruction goes up exponentially with the winds. So it's not an even thing from 75 to 155, extrapolate type of a thing. They go up exponentially. So you can have over 300 times the amount of destruction with winds at 155 versus 75. And that is significant.
Right. When you're talking about a 100-mile-per-hour wind versus a 50, 100 is basically 4 times the power of a 50-mile-per-hour wind. So we're going to see wind gusts well over 100 miles per hour with this. So there's a lot yet to come. Steph, I need to get to a couple of things right now, if you can take my max. We've got the eye wall now coming on board here, and that is closing in on your area, Steph. Be prepared to shelter in place because the winds are going to ramp up to gusting over 100 miles per hour as that eye wall moves through, and it's going to take some time to do that. But I also want to talk about the storm surge flooding that we're already seeing across parts of Florida. Again, record value of storm surge already in Naples. The high tide is not until early afternoon. And part of the reason why, well, pretty much the only reason why, is because of the wind direction. It is out of the southwest, bringing the Gulf of Mexico inland already across parts of coastal Florida here, especially those wind-facing shores right now. And for now, farther to the north in Fort Myers or areas to the north, we're not seeing water rises yet. Certainly, we may be seeing some here along the harbor side or bay side shores, but nothing compared to what we're going to get. We have, keep in mind, still an east or northeast wind that is offshore holding the Gulf of Mexico back. But that is not the case in Naples and will soon not be the case in Sanibel's got an onshore wind right now. I can't imagine what the flooding is there. We don't know. We don't have a gauge there. But many other areas, Pelican Bay, Bonita Springs, the wind out of the south is going to turn out of the southwest, and that water is going to rise. Let me give you an idea of by how much. Here's the storm surge flooding inundation map for a larger part of southwest Florida, including Port Charlotte, Fort Myers, and areas nearby. But I'm going to zoom in to show you the kind of flooding above normally dry ground that we could see with Ian moving inland and eventually later on this afternoon, the wind coming from the Gulf. There are places here in orange and in yellow that are expecting to see 6 to 9 feet of water inundation above normally dry ground. The same thing here in Fort Myers. Everywhere here in red, expect water to inundate above 9 feet that will submerge buildings across the region. Right now, I'm going to send it over Mike Seidel in Fort Myers, needing to be aware of the dangerous situation ahead with the rising water.
Yes, Dr. Postel, we're watching the water come up. The surge beginning over about an hour ago. It's come up about 3 feet. The whole pier and dock now submerged. We're looking out at the Caloosahatchee River, and that rolls into San Carlos Bay, into the Gulf. There's so much water around, so many harbors. There's water everywhere. I mentioned the tide's trying to go out, but it's not going to have much luck with these winds. Weather station across the way now, 62 miles an hour, gusting to 87. 62, gusting to 87. So the wind continues to ramp up. We're going to be heading to higher ground in the short term as the water continues to come up. Surge forecast here at least 12 feet, maybe as high as 18 above normally dry ground. And that would be the extreme case. I keep mentioning Charlie surge was 9.4 across right back there on Fort Myers Beach, which is obviously getting hit hard along with Sanibel Island because those are the outer barrier islands. Ian's eye wall coming at us. We're going to be there for a while. Stephanie Abrams, Jim Cantor, they actually take the actual eye, which will be remarkable as the winds will go almost calm, and we may see some blue sky and some sunshine. So you want to stay around for that this afternoon. It's going to be a long, dangerous and life-threatening afternoon here in Florida. We've got you covered on the Weather Channel around the clock, right on through the week, as the hurricane heads inland and then impacts the southeast over the next 2 to 3 days. Stay with us.
We are the first generation of patients who get to redefine what it means. What should it look like? And what can we be as a community of women? It's still okay to hope.
This old toilet won't quit. It's fine, though. I'm a member of American Home Shield. They cover items no matter their age. Oh, shelves clean.
At Duracell, we're obsessed with bringing a better battery to life. New Duracell with Power Boost ingredients helps this mobile spin longer. And the longer this mobile spins, the longer you have to snag a power nap.
Are those pillows making you toss and turn? Do you wake up tired and achy? Now you can sleep well all night long with the Contour Swan, ergonomically designed to cradle you from head to toe as it aligns your spine for the best night's sleep of your life. Look, the Contour Swan's unique orthopedic shape supports your back, shoulders, head, neck, arms, hips, knees, ankles, and feet as it hugs you in total comfort so you won't toss and turn. And unlike ordinary pillows, the Contour Swan aligns your head and neck perfectly with a huggable area that takes pressure off your shoulders and arms, and it prevents your kneecaps from touching for soothing relief in your lower back, legs, and feet.
Sleeping with all those pillows, my back hurts. But with the Contour Swan, I'm able to get in one spot. When I wake up in the morning, I feel great.
This Contour Swan has changed our lives. We're getting a restful sleep, and best yet, my husband doesn't snore anymore.
My snoring disappeared. I wake up, I'm rested, I've had a full night's sleep. It's fantastic.
Plus, Contour Swan is hypoallergenic and will keep you cool all night long. And it fits any body shape in any sleep position. So stop tossing and turning. This body pillow costs over $119. But now, on this exclusive offer, the Contour Swan can be yours for 2 easy payments of only $29.99. Plus, you'll receive this washable mesh cover, so it stays clean and fresh. Imagine, you get the Contour Swan and washable cover for the low price on your screen. We'll even ship it for free. So don't delay. Sleep well all night and order the Contour Swan today.
Call now, 1-800-960-0948. 1-800-960-0948. Again, that's 1-800-960-0948.
Dish makes TV easy. Now with all of your favorite live TV and streaming apps, all in one place. All right, here we go. Discovery Plus. Because we know how much you appreciate having all you need. All in one place. Streaming and live TV all in one place. Dish, tuned in to you.
This year, Prime members get holiday deals before anyone else, which means you're kind of a big deal. The Prime Early Access Sale on October 11th and 12th, only for Prime members.
Welcome to the Weather Channel. I'm meteorologist Stephanie Abrams live in Englewood, Florida. Right now, if you're just tuning in, or if you've been watching us, we still have a Category 4 hurricane wind at 155 miles an hour. That is a strong Category 4. Category 5 is at 157 or higher. So we are literally borderline Cat 4, Cat 5. What we're talking about is we're not going to see a huge difference if it goes from 155, 157. We are going to see the eyewall is close to the coast right now, for sure. So in the next couple of hours, things are going to deteriorate pretty quickly. And everyone's going to have to get to the safe room that is experiencing eyewall system. We're going to see catastrophic damage. We're going to see power going out. Is my mic going out here? I can see we're trying to fix my mic. If my mic is okay, all right, we'll switch to this one. And we're going to stay on air as long as we can to show you the pictures. We Gorda, Jim Cantori, Fort Myers, Mike Seidel. We have Chris Bruin in Sarasota. Go up the coast, St.
Hey guys, what's going on? Genuine Sim here. We're gonna see if we can take off from Salty Approach right now. This is looking pretty fucking wild. Hurricane Ian, standing still, we're showing 70 knots of indicated airspeed, 85 and some gusts. I tried to land here, it was impossible. Let's see if we can get our airplane straightened out here. It's taking a lot of left aileron. It's going to take a lot of right rudder. We're going to go ahead and see what the hell we can do here. We're going to turn the brakes off. We're going to go full power. And we're going to start working this airplane down the airfield here. Alright, that did not take long at all. Oh, damn it. That was a headwind. It was definitely a headwind. Alright, we're gonna start back over at Fort Myers. And try to make it back over there. Guys, we're in hunker down mode down here in Florida. We are coming through our hurricane preparedness phase into our get ready for the shit hit the fan phase, and we're gonna see how fun we can make this stream today. It's gonna be interesting. Obviously, I expect to lose power. I am on the East Coast in Daytona Beach, which is where the hurricane is supposed to be ending up on 90% of its projected paths at this point. So that's kind of where my head's at. That's what I'm anticipating. Let's go ahead and head back over Salty Approach here. You know what? We're gonna turn on the next rad. Let's go ahead and bring our power back down. We're getting pretty bad winds here at the airport as well. Control 2 here, map options. And in the map options, we're gonna make sure our next rad is turned on.
So, for example, assuming you're
It says it's turned on.
you're going to want to find the lowest room in an interior room away from
There's
windows,
the next
as if there is a tornado
okay.
warning, because that kind of wind speed will be moving in. Now, the Doppler radar out of Tampa all the way up at 10,000
All right, so if we zoom out on our next rad, let's see what we get here.
And giving us an idea that the winds aloft, now aloft, are about 170 miles per hour in both directions, like going from south to north, and then, of course, from north to south. There may be some wind gusts that approach that velocity right near the coast.
The eye is right here. This will be the eye right here.
We have that extreme wind warning for Lee County.
Fox Alpha 5-4
because we expect winds to sustain over 115 miles per hour, and that will be in the eye wall, and that will be lasting with us for quite some time yet. So here's the expected track, guys, of Ian as it moves in this way. Now the wind will gradually be switching out of the southwest in many locations, and that is going to bring the water in very quickly. Once the winds move onshore, you're going to see the water rise very quickly and inundate many locations that are normally dry to the tune of perhaps 10 feet or so. That includes Cape Coral, that includes Punta Gorda, that includes many areas, and Charlotte Harbor is going to be swollen with a surge-like rush of water from the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and set our altitude here. Our target altitude is going to be 1,500. I think it's pretty reasonable.
Do lots of damage and also bring that water
and then we can, that way we can get.
Now on the north side
of we'll do 1,300. Get the field barometer in the box there, 29 or 25. Guys, I think we're ready to go.
Not nearly the same level as it is farther to the south. And we will see
brakes are off.
Damaging winds still, but not to the extent that you will in that southeastern eye wall.
It was a little nutty. Lot of right rudder here, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and show you here on the old control cam what's going on. It's taking a lot of right aileron. Oh, sorry, left aileron, right rudder.
It's because we have that onshore. Not so here. Right? On the
having the cross control.
Of Ian, You have that offshore wind.
All right,
but
let's go and turn on the autopilot here. We're gonna put her in the nav mode. We're gonna put her into
there you can see closer in Englewood, Port
altitude
Charlotte,
right now.
Boca Grande. These winds are out of the east. We may see some harbor side
Autopilot's
water rises
on,
here, but
vertical
overall,
speed.
this is not the storm surge location that has to be most concerned. It is going to be again along and to the right of the path where the water now is coming in on Sanibel Island. I would love to know what's happening there. Unfortunately, I imagine it's the worst. Last set of graphics I'm going to show you about the inundation here we need to get to. This is a bigger view of Southwest Florida. But zooming in, you can see that many locations here, even shaded in yellow and orange, do expect water rises of 3 to 6, perhaps even 9 feet
TDI
in
to
red, especially farther
GPS.
to the south. There's Fort Myers, there's Cape
Should
Coral.
be in
So much
nav mode.
of resumption and business locations in the region
So we'll have to
will
hit
indeed
nav
be
over
underwater
yonder.
when that storm surge comes in, Alex, in a tsunami-like fashion with the wind rushing in from the Gulf of Mexico.
Dr. Post, a quick question for you here as we look towards some of the areas a bit farther to the north. Let's say Tampa, for instance, there. I've seen some of the images there on social media of the bay, essentially, that is just, it's no water. And the water is rushed out. What can they anticipate here as we head on through the rest of the day as you head, again, north of where this thing will be making that landfall?
These are all excellent questions. And along the and north of the track of Ian, we're going to see that east wind. So Tampa Bay will continue to funnel outward in an inverse storm surge kind of way, back out into the Gulf of Mexico. We've already seen plenty of that. But I'm going to take us through, as you mentioned, what we should be also talking about is the continuation of the forecast going forward. This is going to bring damaging winds, guys, well inland. And there's a live look right now in Fort Myers, Florida, where you can start to see now the water coming in and the wind picking up. The weather's going to get worse. The water's going to rise. This is going to be many scenes like this and even much worse than this going forward over the next several hours as landfall is still yet a couple of hours away, guys. And we are seeing the eye wall now begin to move in and affect some of those coastal locations like Captiva and Sanibel Island. But here,
all right, so here we go. Starting to make that left turn.
By about 10 o'clock tonight, let's say the center circulation, 10 o'clock tonight is here. We are still going to be dealing with very strong winds, even inland in the northern eye wall, perhaps over 75 miles per hour in gusts.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and reduce our power just a little bit here.
The Florida East Coast.
Never want to be pushing the limits in weather situations.
Daytona Beach, that east wind coming in off the Atlantic will lead to some coastal flooding. Water rises.
Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera and microphone, but I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right?
Because Charlie, you know, buzz through was a lot smaller, because a lot of people around here do compare this to Charlie. And the place where we're staying, I asked them, hey, did you guys have anything from Charlie? They did absolutely nothing. I said, this is going to be a different story, because this is a lot bigger story. Let's talk about the thickness of that eye wall, Dr. Costello, and what that means for someone going through it.
So we talked about that earlier, Steph. That's a really good point. It does appear that the eye wall is about 15 to 20 miles across. So, for example, when it moves in, let's say the storm is moving at about 10 miles per hour, you may be in the eye wall for 1 to 2 hours, and maybe even longer than that, depending on your position. So imagine that. Expect 1 to 2 hours of hurricane force winds with gusts well over 100 miles per hour. In, for example, let me clear that off for you, in where you are, Steph, in Englewood, for example, in Sanibel, in Port Charlotte, Charlotte Harbor, Punta Gorda, even farther to the south, in Marco, for example, the winds are picking up. Fort Myers as well. We are going to see a long couple of hours where the winds are going to be above hurricane force, gusting over 100 miles per hour, the kind of wind that can do damage, that can take roofs off, of course, knock down lots of trees, take out power. So what you're going to want to do, and if you can hear me, what I would like you to do is find your safe spot, if you haven't yet already, and that is inside in an interior room with as many walls between you and the outside as possible. That is assuming that you're not at risk for seeing the storm surge flooding, because then you're going to want to pay attention to your elevation as well.
Dr. Dr. Postel, do you have any official winds for us? Because I want to show you here. You guys got to take us a bit. We just heard that cracking noise, and look, this tree has split. Now, listen, we have seen some gusty winds, but nothing that can't, stand in upright. And you see that tree has already twisted and cracked, and we're not anywhere near getting into the worst of this. So, Dr. Postel, do you have any official, I have my producer just putting stuff out to see, but do you have any official wind gusts so far for the Englewood area? Or even estimates for that matter. I'll take estimates.
Yeah, it's always difficult to estimate, but based on some of the widely scattered observations that we're looking at here, it does look like 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts are common already. We've seen tropical storm force winds move inland already hours ago. But the real core of Ian, where the winds are going to ramp up so dramatically, are coming now closer to Englewood, maybe within the next half hour, 45 minutes or so, Steph, where you are here and areas nearby, Fort Myers, we're going to see those winds pick up as that eye wall comes in. That's where the worst of all the winds are, Steph, and the winds will ramp up very quickly. And as you mentioned, you double the wind speed, the power is multiplied by 4. That's 4 times the force, so it's going to be very dangerous soon.
All right, Dr. Postel, you can see things are picking up. So our safe room is literally just feet from me. We can all literally pick up and run in a matter of seconds. So we are not far from where we need to be in our safe room. But we are getting some stronger gusts and stronger gusts. So it's only, a matter of time until we retreat to that safe room, because obviously surrounded by trees, power lines, and debris as well. I was showing everyone, a lot of people with their landscaping have little pebbles. Those will turn into projectiles during this storm. You see pom-poms that have already been coming down. I showed you that trees are already twisted and cracked. And so things are slowly starting to happen, but they're going to happen exponentially faster and more intensely once we get into that eye wall, and then you're in it for hours. And so at first, it'll be a little bit slow. What I've experienced going through eye walls is it's a little bit slow, and it kind of weakens everything up. But the second that, things start to go, that's it, Dr. Postel. And that's when you have to really seek shelter.
Yeah, we just got a new and extreme wind warning for your location, including Englewood, Grove City, and other areas for Charlotte and Sarasota counties. This is with the eye wall now closing in on your location, and the expectation is we will see perhaps sustained winds over 100 miles per hour and gusts well above that, over 115 miles per hour. So that is what's on the way, Stephen. You guys are going to need to take some shelter and be prepared to find your safe spot, which is what I would like you to do. If you do that in the lowest floor, we'll be out of this okay. But just remember, it's going to get real bad and last a while too. And you might get a break in the eye. The eye may indeed come over areas not far from Englewood or Port Charlotte or Punta Gorda or not far from Laurel, for example. And when it does, you're going to get a break. But then the backside of the eye comes in, perhaps just as strong. So there's a long way to go yet, Steph.
In my experience with that, I've been through several eyes, Dr. Postel, is everything kind of gets ripped apart and weakened when you're in that first eye wall. You get a break, and then the second eye wall, that's when things really start flying around, because now you have all that debris, everything weak, everything can start going, and then you obviously get even more damage on top of that. Maybe to the north of us, Dr. Postel, you say maybe South Venice, they could potentially be in the eye wall and get 0 break, which is obviously worst case scenario.
Yeah, there are plenty of other locations north of your location that are going to see very strong winds as well. Let me back out here and see if I can get some of the cities going here. What I want to do is I want to put on some of the labels as well to give us an idea of where some locations might be at risk for seeing also some very strong winds later on. And that would be, there's the Hurricane Center's track. I just wanted to give you that. So we expect Ian to move along a path like that during the afternoon and evening hours. Now, on the northern side of it, we will likely see a north or an east wind. So it won't be as strong as the areas on the south side of that track. But that doesn't mean you can't see damage from it. We will likely see wind gusts, in some cases, over 75 miles per hour in St. Pete, in Laurel, in Venice, in areas nearby. It will not be as strong as the wind on the south and east side of that track, but still, there's a long way to go. The winds are going to be picking up. The weather's going to get a lot worse. And Steph, especially even in that eye wall, do expect wind gusts where you are over 100 miles per hour. So there's going to be a lot of damage in that region coming up soon.
Yeah, unfortunately, and of course, we'll be here before, during, and after the storm. And you can see the winds are really starting to move around here, and they're actually hitting those power lines. Right now, we still do currently have power and water, but I expect that to change not too long from now, as a matter of fact. So this will be it, guys. I mean, the power will start to go out here, and then in the next couple of hours, when we get into the thickness of that eye wall, it's really going to get bad. So just start bracing yourself, get your mind right for what is about to come. We'll be back live in a couple minutes.
What if you were a global energy company with operations in Scotland, technologists in India, and customers all on different systems? You need to pull it together. So you call in IBM and Red Hat to create an open hybrid cloud platform. Now data is available anywhere securely. And your digital transformation is helping find new ways to unlock energy around the world. Let's create a hybrid cloud that can change an industry. IBM, let's create.
From out of the blue, every room can be more innovative. With some of that, and a whole lot of this. Meet our exclusive dent and scratch resistant Stainmaster laminate. Check out our most innovative products, only at Lowe's.
New Super Stay Vinyl Ink from Maybelline, New York. Shake up your long wear with no budge vinyl color. Color lock formula. Up to 16-hour wear. New Super Stay Vinyl Ink, Maybelline, New York.
American Home Shield is a home service plan provider that helps cover the cost when parts of your home systems and appliances wear out. It can help relieve the stress and anxiety of unexpected breakdowns.
For a free quote, visit ahs.com.
With Choice Hotels, there's always a reason to book it. Whatever your reason, save 20% when you stay 2 or more nights at participating locations. Book direct at choicehotels.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Don't let discomfort slow you down. Try Penetrex. Penetrex is different than other products with no greasiness, irritation, or unpleasant odors. Made with unique ingredients, it's 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Penetrex, the #1 online rated joint and muscle cream.
Science proves your best sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. And only the Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed keeps you cool, senses, and effortlessly adjusts for your best sleep. And tells you exactly how well you slept, your Sleep IQ score. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night, so you can be your best for yourself and those you care about most. And now, save 40% on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition Smart Bed, now only $14.99. Plus 0% interest for 24 months on all smart beds, only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
It took a while to get up here. We started out around 1959. Then we took a hard left in East Africa. A right at Baja. A 180 in the empty quarter. And with that 65-degree incline at Hell's Revenge. But we didn't do all that just to get here. We did it to give you a truck that'll take you anywhere. This is the new Nissan.
Enjoy 2 pancakes, 2 eggs your way, and 2 pieces of bacon for only $5. The 2x2x2 from IHOP. Hurry in and enjoy this deal for a limited time. Download the app and earn free food with every order.
Climate change can be a powerful motivator. The Weather Channel and its innovative team of Pattern bring you fascinating stories from the most trusted team in television news every day.
This is a Camp Lejeune legal alert. Attention veterans and families impacted by toxic water at Marine Base Camp Lejeune. Important legal rights are now available for those who lived or served at Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987. If you suffered an injury that may be caused by water contamination, call 1-800-418-3623 or visit youhavealawyer.com for a free case evaluation. For over 30 years, Marines and their family members were exposed to toxic chemicals in Camp Lejeune water. The VA has acknowledged that exposure to these chemicals can cause a number of serious health conditions, including cancer, birth defects, Parkinson's disease, liver damage, and other illnesses. A new law now allows victims of Camp Lejeune water contamination to obtain financial compensation for their injuries, even if benefits were denied in the past. However, there is a limited time to file a claim. Find out if you qualify. Call 1-800-418-3623 or visit youhavealawyer.com. That's 1-800-418-3623.
got something that's miles long and a mile wide.
After the flood, the house was gutted and the family pretty much lost everything.
We're building them a rock-star brand new kitchen and revamping the entire living room.
We only have less than a week to get this done, but I'm confident we can get it done. Come on in.
Oh my gosh!
They nailed it.
Absolutely incredible.
I was expecting this.
Fast Home Rescue, Saturday nights, 8/7 Central, only on the Weather Channel.
And we want to take you now and show you the water coming in here. And it is just incredible what we're seeing. I'm told this is Fort Myers Beach. And look at that water pushing it and the debris in the water. Just absolute madness. And you see the debris floating on top of it. Remember, 6 inches of swiftly moving water can knock you off your feet. 2 feet of swiftly moving water. What is that? That looks like a garbage can floating away. That's what it looks like, appears to me. And who even knows what else is in there? So the damage has already started here into Fort Myers, and the system is yet to pull ashore. I will say Sanibel Island is getting rocked right now by the system as well. We're seeing the water rise there already, and it's also going to continue to do so as this pulls on shore, and it is going to get worse for a lot more people. This is just a little bit of what some of us will be seeing from the storm as it still moves ashore. I will say that Sanibel Island's been going through the eye wall, and they're about to maybe get a little bit of a break from the eye. We'll have to check on the radar and have a look at that. So you see all this water pushing in. I'm in Inglewood, just to the north of this. We're about 2 miles inland, so we're not too concerned about the surge here where I am 2 miles in. Though there's a lot of canals all around us, so we could see some flooding here. Let's go to Dr. Postel and talk about that flow of water and that surge. Are we really reaching our max right now in Fort Myers, Dr. Postel? Yeah. Or do you think we still have more to go?
We have a lot more to go, Steph, and we're kind of looking this camera toward the Gulf of Mexico in the southwest direction with the wind largely out of the south right now. So there's quite a bit of an onshore component. The water's rising, the winds are clearly gusting very strongly. And I can show you, if you put that video alongside my graphics, I can tell you exactly where we are looking and what the wind is doing and what the water rises are now showing us. We've already seen a record water rise in Naples. I believe it's over 5 feet, and that continues to go up, and we're seeing lots of other places as well. So there's Fort Myers Beach. That is right there where you can see all that water rushing inland with the wind coming in and off the Gulf. If not directly, certainly very close to that, and the water is just rushing in very quickly, and it's going to go up as we continue to see Ian move. Their center of circulation is somewhere out in there, and it is moving roughly in that direction. So the wind will continue to push the Gulf of Mexico inland here, and the weather will get worse going forward as we watch this evolve. Now, farther to the south, as I mentioned, Naples with this, prolonged onshore wind, already a 5.5-foot storm surge. So that is the highest on record. And the records go back to 1965. So we are dealing with already record storm surge across parts of southwest Florida, especially in those shorelines that are facing the wind now. But remember, the wind is going to be veering around. It's now out of the south, but even in places like farther to the north, we are going to see the wind come in more from the west, and that is going to push it inland into Charlotte Harbor, very significantly so later on today as Ian begins to move on through and push that Gulf of Mexico in that direction. Let's look at some places that could see very significant inundation. Now, the color coding here, for example, Cape Hayes in the orange is 6 to 9 feet, and in the red, it's above 9 feet, and there are lots of places that we expect to see that, especially in Fort Myers and in all the complicated canal networking that is a part of the city. So, Steph, this is a flooding nightmare, disaster unfolding as the weather continues to get worse in many locations. Send it back to you, Steph, in Englewood.
Okay, so that's the wind component, but this thing is a triple threat, if you will. It's got the wind, it's got the rain, it's got the surge. It really has all three of these, and at a very high level as well. So Dr. Postel, now let's talk about the winds, because even though we're 2 miles inland, we could see flooding here, and we could see catastrophic wind damage as well with this.
We will see catastrophic wind damage with this as the eye wall moves through. Not until it does, but when it does, right? We are seeing now a new extreme wind warning for Charlotte and Sarasota counties with the expectation of wind gusts over 115 miles per hour. Steph, that includes you in Englewood. The eye wall is about ready to move into your location. It's right about like that, moving through parts of the area just to the southwest of Punta Gorda. So this is the most dangerous part wind-wise of Ian that is now closing in on many locations right along the Florida coast. And I can zoom in even more to show you that we are about ready to see the highest of all the winds with over 100 mile per hour winds, the kind that can do damage, right? It can knock out power if it hasn't been knocked out already. It can knock down trees and take roofs off. And with that, you can have complete roof and wall failure. Weather's only getting worse, and the storm surge continues inland. Stay tuned.
Somebody stepped this game up, huh?
Game over.
Made for grand entrances. The Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
Psoriasis really messes with you. Tried, hope, failed.
No one should suffer like that.
I started Cosentix. 5 years clear.
Real people with psoriasis look and feel better with Cosentix. Don't use it if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections, some serious, and the lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms, or if you've had a vaccine.
big-time winds and 155 or 60 miles an hour. I was just looking at the radar, too, aloft, and up around 8,000 feet, there were winds, instantaneous winds, 180 miles an hour. So this thing's no joke. And it's coming in. It's not losing strength by any stretch of the imagination. It's on its way in as we speak. Let's take you to Fort Myers here, guys. I'm going to show you this video because we just got this in from Severe Studios, and you can see this is storm surge. And on the storm surge comes storm surge damage and debris. And it's that debris that comes down. So sometimes, you can certainly get out of the way of the water, but buildings and other things get knocked around by that debris, depending on what that is. But the power of water is a very strong thing, and this is what we wanted to get you out of the way of. We don't want anyone to have to go through what you're seeing right here on these pictures. So a horrible situation, certainly just starting to unfold as Ian is on final approach into Southwest Florida. One of the most historic hurricanes we've ever had down through here in terms of its intensity and certainly the storm surge component that's associated with it. We may see all new cuts coming in on the barrier island here. It's going to get wild here over the next couple of hours, so stay with us. Let's go down to Fort Myers. Mike Seidel is joining us. And Mike, you're a little bit closer to the action, I would assume, right now.
Yes, we are, Jim. We've found a safer place. We're up about 20 feet. I'm down here at the pool. I can quickly get up to 20 feet if necessary. The wind is just howling off the Gulf of Mexico. The weather station across the way just gusted to 97 miles an hour. 97 mile an hour gust. You can see the surf. You can't even see that far out to the river. Remember, all the water's getting blown in from the Gulf through San Carlos Bay into the Caloosahatchee. And the wind is just howling out here. By the way, we've got about 250,000 Floridians, customers without power right now. They're all down in this area in Southwest Florida. Here in Lee County, I was kind of surprised. 10% of the customers without power. So these winds now gusting close to 100 miles an hour. Look at the radar. We're right in the eye wall now. And we're going to be in this for a while. A lot of folks in the hotel staff asking me, are we going to get in the eye? Well, I don't know. It's going to be very close, like we had the situation in Ponce, Puerto Rico, where we stayed in the eye wall and it was just roaring for about 4 hours. That may be the case here. Just the wind roaring, the heavy rainfall coming in right now, and the surge coming up. We're expecting a 12 to 18-foot surge above higher ground. That's the worst case scenario. Right now, we're up several feet based on where the water was earlier, and it's blowing right in here towards the hotel. We will certainly keep you updated. We've got crews up the coast. We've got Stephanie in Englewood, where she'll take the eye. Jim Cantori in Punta Gorda, he'll take the eye. And we're going to be on through the afternoon to show it to you live on the Weather Channel. We're live around the clock as Ian batters Florida and heads into the southeast tomorrow.
New Superstay Vinyl Ink from Maybelline, New York. Shake up your long wear with no budge vinyl color. Color lock formula. Up to 16-hour wear. New Superstay Vinyl Ink, Maybelline, New York.
Beneful knows a full life doesn't just happen. It's a
and just continuing to work its way through the interior here. So this is a horrible situation. You hate seeing this, but you know that power of water is going to do a lot of horrible things, and this is exactly why we need to get you out of it. This is why these evacuation orders were issued for places like Zone A and also into Zone B as well. All right, so we'll leave that up. I want to take some more cameras. Now, we were about a half a mile from here this morning, okay, on Charlotte Harbor. And the reason why we're not there now is because we don't want the surge to come in and not be able to come back here and get a place where we can retreat to and get up in elevation, which is where we are in a parking garage. Okay, you can get out of the water, but if you're driving in it, it comes up too fast, that becomes a different story. But you can see these boats just leaning here now because of the wind, all right? Pete, if you're listening to me on IFB, I know you know this water's up a little bit more. Almost looks like it's still trying to flow back out toward the Gulf of Mexico. So we haven't gotten that full southeast component yet, but it is coming up. And there were boats in that marina there that were literally sitting on the mud this morning. Not these, because they're out in the harbor, but the ones that in the marina that we were at. As a matter of fact, I can show you some of those boats. Let's take the storm cam here quick, Mark, before I throw the step. I want to show everybody the same boats that I was talking about. This is on our storm cam feed that we have that was at the same area. And again, this is Pete's camera. So, you know, the one, apparently it's not coming up, but the one I wanted to show you was the one that's out in that harbor. And that's going to get really interesting here as we start to see, you know, this water come on up. We've had winds gusting already over 100 miles per hour, especially south of me, and that's going to continue to be the case. We are only about, 15 miles from the outer eye wall, and then we're going to be, 19 miles from some of the worst of this. So you're going to see weather conditions go downhill.
Hey guys, what's up? We're going to come in for a landing again at Salty Approach, where we're going to park the aircraft. We made a trip around the eye, which was pretty fun.
But holy smoke, whether you get in the eye or this thing jogs over toward me and we both get in it is yet to be determined. But either way,
it's looking like we are currently just about 3 minutes out from Salty Approach. Like we ought to be going about 100 at this point. We need to make a right turn by a lot.
But this whole stretch from where Jim is in Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, here into Inglewood, up towards Venice, all these areas are going to hit hard.
Let's pull this map towards us here.
I've now switched over to the baseball helmet because we were talking with Dr. Postel that this thing is nearing us. I want to bring in Dr. Postel and talk about how much farther we have. And I was able to see my phone, Dr. Postel, and check my text. We asked about our pressure. Now we're at 989. We've been jumping in and around the 989. And here's our pressure reading for you. Let's see if we can show it to you. There we are.
All right, we're going to make another 10 degrees right, 110.
A lot worse because the minimum pressure in Ian is somewhere around, let's say, 900.
We have a hurricane warning in effect for our area here.
50 millibars of pressure difference.
Telling us to have all of our supplies.
Let's say somewhere around here to where the center is about here. Now, the difference in pressure means the wind between you and where the center is accelerating. And we are going to see the winds where you are, Steph, and many other locations in that eye wall ramp up very quickly to over 100 miles per hour in gusts. And it hasn't gotten to you yet, the worst of it by far, but it is moving slowly. Remember, once you get in that eye wall, you may be in it for an hour or more.
We just want to get this airplane on the ground in one piece. That's our goal here. It looks like we need to make a right turn about another 10 degrees.
Display here on the left to show you roughly what's happening.
Well, those other airplanes are there. That's Salty Approach.
So Fort Myers Beach is right about there. We have an onshore south wind. That camera is looking southwest. So the water is coming right in from the Gulf of Mexico and pushing inland as we speak, right in that zone. Now in Naples, there's a 5.8 storm surge already. That is one for the record books. That is #1 going back to 1965. And there is one more location there, Fort Myers Beach. That is the location that you're seeing on the right with all of that flooding, that inundation. It is going to continue to rise as Ian continues to move roughly along a path like that. And we will continue to see the winds increase, the waves on top of the rising water. Conditions in Fort Myers Beach getting worse. They're already life-threatening, and many other locations we're going to see the weather only get worse. I'll leave you with this one last picture here.
Just trying to keep the speed up here. I want to get this airplane on the ground as soon as
The
possible.
center of Ian is going. Along and to the right is where the strongest winds are going to be closing in on Punta Gorda in a matter of an hour or so.
Moderate to severe eczema still disrupts my skin. Despite treatment, it disrupts my skin with itch. It disrupts my skin with rash. But now, I can disrupt eczema with Rinvoq. Rinvoq is not a steroid, topical, or injection. It's one pill, once a day, that's effective without topical steroids. Many taking Rinvoq saw clear or almost clear skin, while some saw up to 100% clear skin. Plus, they felt fast itch relief, some as early as 2 days. That's Rinvoq relief.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections of blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and
Oh, good lord.
People
A
50
Rinvoq ad.
heart disease risk factor
Come
have
on.
higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq. A serious reaction.
Alright, we're coming up to it, guys, and I feel pretty good about it, actually. We're in the eye still. This is crazy. The airplane just sounds crazy. I'm actually going to use them as a reference because when all those name tags are in a line, I'll know I'm lined up. Just in time for pouring down rain. Makes all kinds of fun noises in this weather. So yeah, I reset that barometer just in time. We're showing me a 500 feet. Holy shit. Oh, yep, just like that. No! Oh, shit. That was so close. Almost recovered. Guys, we're going to leave it off here, but we'll pick back up as Hurricane Ian makes its way further inland. We'll see you on the next one. See how many viewers we've got going on here. Maybe we can raid. I don't know. Let's try to raid somebody real quick here. Dun, dun, dun. Get that raid, get that raid, get the raid, get that raid. All right, let's see here. Hair currywurst. No, Viper Strikes, yes. Arch NDA, we do this one. We do Arch NDA. Guys, dude's looking at VFR charts, so he's got to be legit. You know what I mean? Gotta be. Alright, thanks for watching. Enjoy this guy's stream. See you.